What is going on YouTube? Today I'm going to be going over why I just bought more GameStop and AMC stock. But before I do get into this video, make sure to go down and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel, because I do update you guys on GameStop and AMC stock every single day. So today we did bounce off that level of $3.21 for AMC. In the morning it was chilling there at $3.21, a little bit red on the day, and then boom, we just had a 10% move to the upside from 320 all the way to 360, and almost every single indicator was indicating that this move was going to happen for AMC. On the daily Bollinger Bands, we were outside of the Bollinger Bands by a lot, and price almost always returns to these Bollinger Bands. So that was a good indicator right there. Even on the weekly, we're still outside of the Bollinger Bands, so it's possible that we still see, some more upside for AMC past $3.60 over the next 2 days. I did enter into some $3.50 calls in the morning, so those did print. The RSI yesterday when it was trading at $3.20 was also way oversold. It was like the lowest the RSI has been in a very, very long time. So every indicator for AMC was just screaming that, a little bip was going to happen, and we did get that little bit for AMC. GameStop was trading flat throughout the majority of the day, only 6 million shares traded, and it was just a boring day. We did hit a high of $29.33 in the morning, and then we came right back down to $27.96 where we closed the day. I do believe we can get one more bounce to around $30.50, possibly $31, but I do believe overall we are going to hit this middle Bollinger Band on the weekly chart, which is somewhere around $26.15. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling anyone to buy, sell, or hold. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. Not only are we going to be testing this center Bollinger Band on the weekly chart, but if we draw out this triangle here for GameStop, the bottom of this trend line is also going to be around $26. So we can tap this bottom before attempting to break out of this giant triangle that has formed ever since the run up in May, which is now well over half a year ago. So it's been a minute. I mean, this has been forming for a very long time. And if we take a look at this triangle, the one that GameStop made before it broke out back to $34, it was getting real tight, and once it broke out, it just went into this huge uptrend. Now obviously we're drawing this triangle on a bigger, way bigger scale, and it looks like it can be breaking out sometime in March, January, February, March. So about in 2 months would be a reasonable time for GameStop to break out of this bigger triangle, which can lead to some freaking crazy moves. Now, obviously, it really can happen whenever, because if we take away this triangle, it does look like one giant cup and handle. I mean, this could be just Roaring Kitty saying cheers, everybody. It really does look like one giant cup, and there is our handle. A little deformed cup, but it definitely is there. Another stock that I have been longing is Tesla. On the weekly chart, Tesla has a bullish engulfing candle going right into Trump's inauguration. I believe this thing can skyrocket to $500. It is going to be insane. Obviously, when Trump won back in November, Tesla went crazy. Literally the week Trump won, Tesla was up 30%. So you could only imagine what is going to happen when Donald Trump actually comes into office. As well as Trump stock, this week it is up 15% so far, and I believe we are just getting started. Bitcoin also just hit 100,000 once again. XRP hit $3. Crypto is going insane right now. So Mara is definitely on my watch list. Over the past couple of months, it does look like one giant inverted head and shoulders is forming, and right now we are on the right shoulder. It is possible we could come down maybe $15 the lowest, but I would not be scared to start entering long positions right now for Mara, because I believe we could easily bounce back up to $20, $22 with Bitcoin hitting 100K. It's very possible. So this guy made this post 4 days ago. He said, the only explanation I have for Roaring Kitty not returning on Wednesday is that he sees a 30% drop in GameStop like May of 2024 before the breakout and a flash crash in markets. So far from that post, GameStop is down over 10%, and it's possible we still go lower, down to $26. In my opinion, $26 would be the bottom for this little dip that we have for GameStop. All I'm saying is do not be scared. They want you to be fearful. They want you to sell your shares at this price before the squeeze does happen. All I'm doing is buying more at these prices, especially AMC. I believe AMC is at a huge discount, and I believe AMC is just a short squeeze play. Cantonese Cat said, GameStop hourly chart. We seem to have a big order block where we're at. It could always go lower because they would probably want to buy even lower, but it doesn't have to. I'm going to keep accumulating here and lower. So GameStop rarely does dip below the daily Bollinger Bands. It's only happened a couple times over the past, year. So the chances of it dropping tomorrow below 27.50 are pretty low. It is possible, but in my opinion, I believe we would get a little bounce back to around this center Bollinger Band around $31 before we possibly do dip more. If we don't get some kind of catalyst and nothing is really there, it's possible we will see $26, which is where the center Bollinger Band is on the weekly chart. But I have loaded into some weekly calls for GameStop expiring this week. I am planning on closing them out tomorrow because, like I said, I am anticipating a little bit back to 30 for GameStop, and that is where I plan on taking some profit. James Rowland said, same rough idea here, ignoring the noise and waiting for my spots to try another options trade. This is far from over in my opinion. Just gives another great entry spot. After losing the daily trigger, the idea that the current move would lead into the melt up was invalidated, and so for options traders, you must adapt as further price action develops. My trade was invalidated once price lost the daily trigger, and now I'm looking to pick it up at the weekly trigger if it gets there. Otherwise, reclaim the daily trigger above to turn bullish again. So yeah, the weekly trigger right now is also at $25.78, around that $26 mark, where I believe we can go to over the next couple of trading days. But even the fractal that James Rowland laid over this chart, it shows that we might get a little bip back to around $31, which is where the center daily Bollinger Band is. Kevin Malone said this about AMC. He said, breaking news, AMC is now down more than 99% from all-time highs again, 32 times the shares outstanding as 2019, and the CEO has made more money in the last 8 years than the entire company. Has also never purchased shares with outside funds. So, I've talked about it on my channel, how it's freaking sus how Adam Aron's making over $20 million a year and he's not even putting any of that money into AMC. It doesn't make sense, but that is probably because he's going to continue diluting. Now, in my opinion, that doesn't make AMC a terrible investment. In my opinion, AMC is just a short squeeze play until it fully pays off its debt and until maybe Adam Aron isn't the CEO anymore. That's all it is in my eyes, a short squeeze play. That's what it's always been. And over the past year that I've been talking about it, we have got an explosive move. From $3 to $13, people seem to forget that ever happened. And I believe it is going to happen again. And all you bastards are going to be wrong once again. So AMC, yeah, it did have a little solid bip back to 351. And just because we still are outside of the weekly Bollinger Band, I do believe we will be closing above $3.50 this week. The RSI, is extremely low, and I believe we will be making a move back to $4 in no time. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did make it to the end of the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what the heck are you guys doing? Make sure to go down and subscribe. AMC $3.5 calls went up over 400% today from its low. They were like at 4 pennies. It went to a high of 18 pennies. So it was a pretty crazy move for AMC $3.5 calls. I did take some of that profit from those AMC calls and put it into GameStop $29 calls expiring this week. Because like I said earlier, I do believe GameStop will have a little bounce back to $30 before continuing its little downtrend back to $26, where I believe we will get a huge spike. Right now though, I am looking at a bunch of other stocks. Like I mentioned, Tesla is going insane. There's a bullish engulfing candle on the weekly chart. Mara, I believe, is about to go back past $20. With Bitcoin crossing 100,000, it is just a no-brainer. And Donald Trump stock as well. With Donald Trump being inaugurated in less than a week, it is going to go crazy. But I will keep you guys updated on what happens with GameStop and AMC stocks, so make sure to stay tuned on my channel. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. As y'all know, I'm buying the dip.
Here we go. Come on.